Good evening, YouTube world and Spurs fans around the world. Welcome to the Cockeral Clock podcast. Of course, every Monday here at 9 o'clock on Thfc till I die. If you are listening to this on Spotify while you're shopping, in the gym, or in the car driving to home from work, don't worry, Mr. Brady is fine. He's now back with me. He's beaten COVID. He's done the Donald Trump and made friends with it and sent it to Arsenal. Anyway, Mr. Brady, how are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Actually, it's a week away, stuck with that bloody COVID. And then, of course, the first day I come back, we have to have the controversy of the goal that never was at Tottenham on Saturday, and the frankly quite ridiculous reaction from Liverpool fans. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, look, if you talk about ridiculous, we just watched the Brentford Forest incident, and it sort of puts it into perspective. Yeah, we'll go into that. Yeah, we've got a lot to go through tonight. We've got the VAR decision, the rights or wrongs with it. We've got the news surrounding it. We've got the Premier League review as well. We've got the match stats from the teams. I did have the teams done, Philip, for the game. So can you just
actually, that's a good one. Let's see. Can we? No, do you know what we should do? See who spots the deliberate mistake.
Yeah, that's it. Just give us 2 minutes. Just go through just go through the chat there, Philip. I forgot to bring something up on the thing, so just give it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we've got Neil Shafton. Hi, Neil. Neil is saying whatever it is now isn't working, and we are now aware the FA decided not to use the same system they used in the World Cup. Human error is always going to be there, but they need to fix it regardless. Yeah, I mean, the way they had the offside thing done in the World Cup, this is kind of 3D images, was very well done. And why the FA turned it down, maybe it was the cost of it. I can't think of any other reason, because it would have enhanced the system and probably led to less errors than we've been getting recently. And this season especially is turning out to be an absolute, pardon my language, an absolute shit show for PGMOL and the VAR officials, really. And Andrew Gregory is saying, evening Dermot, good to see you back, Philip. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, it's good to be back, actually. You know, I've been watching from a distance over the last few days, but I was coughing so much, I would have been interrupting everything to come on. So now I'm not coughing, I'm back.
Yeah, he was watching from afar and thinking, how many horses' head can he send to Dermot after he's been on and sent the channel astray?
We didn't get them yet. Did not arrive yet, no?
Yeah, they arrived this morning. I've sent them back. I'm returned to sender. Right. I didn't live here anymore. Yeah. And also KVP has become a YouTube member. Big up KVP. Thank you so much for the support. He's probably renewed his membership, Philip. So big up to KVP. And if you want to be like KPV, you can do memberships, $2.99, $4.99. Me and Philip are going to do a lot of members only stuff coming up soon. And also a lot of we're going to do a members fan show. If you're a member, you can get on to come on to the watch alongs with me and Philip. And we're going to do your favorite Spurs game, and we're going to do different things to interact with you, Philip. Have you got the update, Philip, for the competition?
I will have. Apparently, we're only getting the results once a month now, rather than every week. So we should have September's results through now, probably tomorrow. So then I'll be able to.
Okay, we'll have that for Wednesday.
There's a lot of work involved. They decided to cut back on it a bit, rather than do it every week, just do it once a month.
Once a month. And then we've got Andrew saying technology is only good as the people who use it. Exactly.
Very good point. Very good point.
Very good point. Let's go through some of the store. Now, I did do the teams and everything, Philip, but I can't find the PDF wherever it is. I don't know where I've done with it. So for the, I've been so busy. No, it's not the deliberate mistake. Look, what did you think of the game on Sunday? On Saturday as a whole, Philip, though, very quickly.
I thought, okay, we haven't beaten Liverpool at home since 2017. We've come close a couple of times, last season especially. I thought Spurs played really, really well, and I'm absolutely disgusted that there's not a word about that. Spurs were the better team, more shots, more possession, more shots on target, obviously more goals. But that barely got a mention from the pundits because of this fucking mistake made by the VAR official, the two VAR officials. So really what's happened there is Liverpool are getting all the publicity, and we're the ones that are just sitting quietly laughing at them because we got the points and they got nothing for all their efforts. And what they're trying to do now, I think, is completely ridiculous. If you look, first thing I saw this morning, but when they won the Liverpool Twitter feeds, and the first post I saw was some guy wanting the 2 VAR officials to be arrested, right? And that was one of the more sensible ones. I mean, they're delusional is the word. I mean, they're absolutely delusional. If they think this game is going to be replayed, they think they're going to be awarded the points. What planet are they on? I mean, Dermot, you know yourself, if the FA decided to give Liverpool a replay in this game, you can be sure there'd be a request coming in every single week to play a match again.
Can I just say what I'm laughing? The VAR officials to be jailed. That is the best one.
I know. Yep. I know.
Where did that come from, by the way?
I don't know where it was from now, but obviously you can't tell where the guy's from, But I said some of them were ridiculous. Okay, the spelling wasn't too good on some of them now. It'd be hard to make them out, but they just thought that another one was, why does it always happen to us? And I laughed at that one as well. Always the victim, even when they're not the victim, they're always the victim.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true.
Pathetic.
You've got Greg Selner, evening Domo, Philip and chat, listening whilst I'm doing loads of washing up, as the wonderful Mrs. Greg Selner has decided to use every implement in the bloody kitchen.
It happens. It happens to me all the time.
It does. Yes, it does happen. We send our sympathies and our charismation.
Do you know what happened to me? Also, the weekend, a bloody dishwasher packed up as well. So I'm a manual dishwashing at the minute. It's no fun.
I don't know what you're moaning about. I'm doing that every day of the week for my lifetimes. I've never seen what a dishwasher looks like. For me, that would be.
They're a great invention. They're a great invention when they work.
Me having a dishwasher would be like, I don't know, Moses coming down from the hilltop with a trophy for Tottenham.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to figure that one out now. So there's more. You're saying there's more chance of Moses coming down with the trophy you having the dishwasher. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you got it.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
It took your time, but you got it.
I'm a bit slow these nights, Dermot,
So I know. But anyway,
fast.
Yeah. Well, let's get on with the stats of the game. I did have the team ready, but I will bring it up. I have got it somewhere else, so don't worry, guys. The stats of the game. Now, Philip, the stats for this game, Liverpool game, were really 64.5 possession to 35.5 possession. Look, 19 possessions lost in defensive halves to Liverpool's 52. Possessions lost in the middle third, Liverpool 41 to our 30. And then the other one, we won 105 duels to their 100. Our success duel rate was 54.3 to 42% for Liverpool. 4 offsides to 1, 12 corners awarded 5. Did these stats more show that Liverpool were down to 9 men and they couldn't attack us? Or does it prove that Tottenham were the better side on the day?
When Liverpool went down to 10 men, not that much changed, really. But when they went down to 9 men and took Salah off, they made no attempt to attack. They just sat in there, 2 banks of 4 and a goalkeeper, and tried to shut us out. And they did a pretty good job of it. Absolutely have to say that, But the just thing, why were they down to 9 men? Because they're absolute indiscipline in the team. I mean, they're now appealing Curtis Jones's red card. Now, come on. If they win that appeal, that means leg breakers are the order of the day now, and they get away with it. Basuma was lucky he didn't snap his leg in half with that tackle. Now, if he gets away with that, I don't know.
I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here with that tackle, Philip. Look, it was a tough one, but I think he made an attempt to go to the ball, but he misjudged the ball, and his foot went over the top of the ball and sort of went into Basuma.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. He was studs up. The studs were showing. So if he'd have gone through for that ball with the studs on the ground, he would have got away with it.
So surely
it was a dangerous tackle. End of story.
So surely a yellow card was if you were looking at it from a lenient point of view, a yellow card was the right decision. But why did it take VAR so long to come to? And when they did show, I don't know if you noticed this on the game either, Philip, but when they did show the clip on the video screen, VAR had frozen that picture
Yeah,
of him,
and the crowd,
not shown.
the gasps from the crowd were very loud.
Yeah, but the
The
thing
crowd
is,
knew that was a red card.
yeah, but Philip, they didn't show him the whole tackle going through. They just showed them one. Look, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
defend him. I'm not trying to defend
Please
Liverpool.
don't try and defend Liverpool. That's not on the agenda. You're not allowed to do
It's
that.
not. But the point I'm making, the whole tackle from start to finish wasn't shown right through, Philip. It was only one picture frame.
That's VAR's problem. They obviously saw enough to know that the stud's up and it was high enough up on the shin to warrant a red card. And it was a red card, there's no doubt. You know?
So my question to you is this, Philip. How come the referee didn't come to that decision then?
Because that referee didn't know what day of the week it was on Saturday. Let's face it. He wasn't a good referee. He's just another one of these new guys. Well, not new, but newish guys that's come along trying to replace the old guard and failing miserably. You know, he probably wasn't close enough to it. Didn't get an angle on it to see the tackle going in. That's why he went to VAR. You know.
Yeah.
But in the end, most tackles like that go to VAR. Even when the red card's issued, first of all, straight away, VAR has to look at it and verify it. So, there's no difference really. He just relied a bit too much on VAR for it.
Andrew saying Liverpool, I've already had 4 players sent off this season, which they've had, Philip. I think they're sort of within, I think the most they had off was 6, so they're nearly there.
Well, they're going to find 20 Saturday because of the number of bookings as well.
Yeah, so they should. Luke Chapman, Northampton Town got tickets today. Woohoo! He's saying he's happy. Good. Big up, Luke. And then we've got to say that they should have been glad they watched it back in slow-mo and showed the freeze frame because it looks even worse in full. Yeah, I thought he broke his leg at one point. I thought that's it. I agree with you with the decision, Philip. I agree with you. It was a bad tackle, but the point I'm trying to make, I'm probably trying to play devil's advocate here, is to inform this, should any other decision, they show it right through and then they reverse it and then show it again. This time that the picture was frozen onto that specific thing. Now,
but it looked to me, Dom, as if the 2 VAR boys were catching up on the sleep up in the VAR booth. They weren't doing their job correctly that day, you know. But I also say this: if that tackle had gone in for a Spurs player, I would also say yes, red card.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care who made that tackle; it's a red card.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. So look, let's get on to it, Philip. The offside goal, and this is where all the thing now. You look at that picture, Philip. Would you say he's onside or offside?
Yeah, he's definitely onside. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. He's definitely onside. I mean, Romero's leg is a good 2 or 3 feet behind what do you call him? Diaz. If you look at where Diaz's feet are compared to the break in the grass there, Romero's foot is much closer to the line than his is. So it's quite unbelievable how they got that wrong. I just cannot figure it out.
No, if you're looking at, just put your football fan hat on, if you know what I mean, Philip, right? Just for a few minutes, and we'll sort of move away slightly from the Tottenham end of it. This is not the first time these have happened, have they, in the Premier League with VAR? There's been rules and there's been... If I was to do every one, I think it'd be about 50 PDF pages of VAR. So I've only done 2. Now, these are the first 3, because our game on Saturday, Man United's game at the beginning of the season, which we were doing our first Premier League review of that game, and I remember coming on, and you and me are both saying that should have been a penalty. The Wolves, do you know what I mean? That game.
Oh yes, that was an assault. That was a pure assault by the goalkeeper. You know,
and then you got Højbjerg then appeared to foul the Brighton player in Tottenham box, but the referee Stuart Atwell declined to award the penalty. VAR Michael Salisbury supported the decision. You got Everton Man City last year, referee Paul Tierney and VAR Chris Kavanagh missed a handball from the Manchester City midfielder Rodri, failing to award Everton a penalty. And then, of course, you got Ivan Toney's offside equaliser against them lot down the road was allowed to stand despite VAR review overseen by Lee Mason, who failed to spot Christian Norgard standing in an offside position. And then the last one's here.
Just the last one, Dermot. I'm just noticing a comparison there. You see the Manchester United Wolves game? Simon Hooper again, same referee as Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So he's been responsible for two of the worst decisions in the Premiership this season. So, that's I rest my case.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, you got the last one here. VAR on John Brooks drew an offside line in the wrong place. For me,
how can you do that? Oh, God.
For me, that's the most funniest one out of the lot, actually. Denying Brighton Pelvis, whoever that is, the opening goal at Selhurst Park was a legitimate goal. Was for the right. You would have to be. How can you draw an offside line? It's a straight line. To be fair,
depends how sober you are. I suppose.
No, look, Philip.
Oh, dear.
It is. Look, VAR. Right. I know what Wally the weekend's going to be. We all know that's going to be.
Oh yeah.
But right, look. Where do we go from here, Philip, with VAR? Seriously, where do we go from here?
I've always said about VAR on the face of it, right, is a brilliant system, right? Yeah. If it's operated correctly, if it's operated the same way as it is in rugby, in tennis, Formula One, they seem to be able to get it right. Okay, I know rugby, it slows down the game and they stop the clock, which might not suit soccer, but at least they get it right. And what happens there is the referee brings in the two linesmen, right? And they have a little conference in the middle of the pitch and they all agree on the decision before he gives it. Now, surely that wouldn't be too hard to do in the case of a very, very contentious issue like Saturday, like the red card thing.
We've been doing a lot of rugby watch-alongs with Ireland, Philip, and I've been asking you about the TMO, and you can hear I've said to you when there's a decision, and I put the sound on me on the monitor, and you can hear the conversations between the officials, between the referee and the. Now, you hear them saying, "Now, what do you see there? Do you agree with that? Yeah, we agree with that," and then you can hear them all agreeing. Liverpool have asked for the audio to be released, and I think it is going to be officially released to everyone to hear it of that game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Now, the official complaint was that the lads did not know. You said to me, was it, Philip, that they didn't see the offside flag up? Is there something along that run? How it came about?
The guy in the VAR box, right? He thought the goal had been given on field, and that's why the check was so quick. He says, check complete, because he looked down, he looked at the thing, he saw Imam was on side, check complete. He did not realize that the goal had been disallowed, but it should still have given them time prior to kickoff to say, hang on a bit, Simon, I've got this wrong, go back and revisit this. This looks like the goal should be given. Didn't do it for whatever reason, they didn't do it. And that's what I think most of us would like to know. It just seems to me, human error, yes, human incompetence, definitely.
Yeah. Tony Young said, did you watch women's last night? Chelsea 24 players with 17 in the World Cup. No, I didn't actually.
And they only won 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
By the way, our under-21s beat Chelsea 4-2 tonight.
Yeah. Me and Philip probably will be doing some women's women's watch-alongs as well as some of the youngsters as well during the season as well. So watch out for them as well. We've got Wilton McDonald. Big up Wilton from Florida.
Hi, Wilton.
He says, good afternoon, gents. I'm not going to feel sorry for anyone. VAR is not the culprit. It's those gin-slinging prats who keep changing the rules and laws of the game. That's my big... No, seriously though, Philip, that's the point I'm getting at now. I want to go down the road.
Yeah. Every season is a different set of rules.
Now, when I was a young lad watching the game, offside was offside. If you're ahead of the last defender, you're offside. And also, the benefit was always given to the attacking side in the tight offside rule and the call. And then handball was, if it was ball to hand, it was a penalty. No, it wasn't. And if it was hand to ball, it was a penalty. Can you explain to me and the viewers and the people listening what the rule is for handball now? Because I haven't got a bloody clue.
I think the only way you're going to get a penalty, definitely the handball now, is if you pick up the ball and stick it up your jumper. I think that's definitely a penalty. Anything else, it's in the lap of the gods. Because you just do not know from one game to another what way they're going to look at us. Like that Nottingham Forest Brentford game yesterday, case in point. absolute farce.
Oh, look, so you're telling me? I can just see a player trying to do that, Philip. I really can. Sticking up his jumper. Look, for me, the rules are too complicated, Philip. They really are too complicated. They're too complicated for anybody to understand. And referees don't get it. The VAR officials don't get it. How the hell are we supposed to follow it?
Well, Jim, can I just go back to the Spurs-Arsenal game last week, right?
Yeah.
Ben White handled the ball, right, before the penalty to Arsenal, right? And he took a shot. Now, if that shot had gone in, the goal would have been disallowed for handball. But because the shot didn't go in, it was the next phase that counted, Romero's handball, and that gave the penalty. I can't see the sense in that. If White handled the ball, it should have been a free kick to Spurs.
So it's VAR then not being into what's the word? Being used to its full potential, or as you say, is it the monkeys running the asylum?
The monkeys running it. I mean, if you get, you very rarely hear of an erroneous decision in rugby, and cricket as well. I admitted to use cricket. The cricket way of doing it is brilliant. Ultra edge, that's a brilliant way of doing it. That's nearly foolproof,
Yeah.
But our way is too much open to interpretation, and each VAR official seems to have a different slant on the rules in the next one. And until they all get it right in the same hymn sheet, it's going to be a farce. And I'll tell you one thing, the next weekend in the Premiership, any VAR decision is going to be micro-analysed to death. And if they ever come up with another mistake, God help the guy that made it. Yeah. I think the two guys that did it on Saturday, they're toast. I think they're gone. They'll never be used again.
Yeah. Peter M says, big up Dermot and Philip. VAR is not fit for purpose. It has added controversy to the refs' decisions, not reduced it. Yeah, exactly. Wilton saying, if we win the title by 1 point, I will be dancing from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. Big up. Yeah. Andrew Gregory, do VAR officials go into hospitality for a couple of hours before the game?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I am going to get on about them two lads as well, because what they did as well was out of order, and I think the Premier League and the referees official needs to stop that. Greg, sound that the process is clearly flawed. If Matey couldn't understand what the on-field decision was in rugby, they clearly explained their on-field decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Take the rest of them comments there for a minute, Philip. Sorry.
I just want to comment one on Wilton's thing and explain why I use the word soccer now and again. Over here in Ireland, we play Gaelic football, and that's known as football. So sometimes, just to clarify what I'm talking about, I have to use the word soccer. I don't like using it, but that's just the way it goes. Unfortunately, I have to do it at some stage. So anyway, and Erwin has got a comment here about VAR. He's saying, hi, everyone. With VAR, I never liked it as it's done nothing for football. It only slows down the game and takes away the celebrations when it is a goal. Football was fine without it right up to now. Right enough now, what you'll see now is instead of unbridled celebrations, when somebody puts the ball in the net, the first thing you see him looking at the referee to see is he touching his ear, see if there's anything going on upstairs. It has taken away a lot of the spontaneity out of the game.
It has. We've got Tony Young. Sorry, go on, Philip. Take over. Sorry.
Tony Young says, Liverpool got 6 points from 4 VAR. Yeah. But Liverpool are the most beneficial club in VAR history. They're the ones who got most decisions their way. And yet here we are, always the victim. When one goes against them, all hell breaks loose.
Philip, look, let's look at it this way. How many times have Man United or Liverpool or Chelsea got decisions over the years that have won them a league, that have won them a cup?
Plenty.
Yeah, but how many times have referees?
3 times we've been shafted. 3 times. And remember Pedro Mendes, Old Trafford?
Yeah.
Not given, right? Aurelio Gomez, a goal against Chelsea that was never over the line. Michael Dawson, Jan Vertonghen. I think it was against Sunderland. We got the ball in his own half, given offside. And then you've got, what else have we got? There's plenty of others, but
Champions League final.
Oh, absolutely. The doozy of them all. Yeah. How could I forget that?
Was that the first time VAR was used in the final? I think Dave told me that it was the first time it was
It could
used.
well be. Well, I'll tell you, they didn't make a great start. 29 seconds or
No.
something. They give away a penalty.
Mm.
No, joke.
We got Wilton say VAR's like the Welsh choir singing out of tune. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tony says I will buy the officials a drink. Look now, Gary Neville, Philip, your favourite person. I know you like good old Gary Neville. I know you love him, really. He put out a statement, and I think it's the first time you and me have actually agreed on this with Gary Neville. He did start to say Jurgen Klopp handled the situation well last night. Look, he did handle it well in the press conference afterwards. He didn't moan about it. He didn't complain about it. He was very diplomatic in his answers, which is very unlike Jurgen Klopp, I have to say. The situation well last night. After the game, most people and fans will have had empathy for what happened and they recognised it was wrong. The only empathy I had was that VAR again had ruined a very good game, actually, Philip. It was a cracking game.
It was.
And I think all the major decisions were VAR led. The referee on the pitch didn't make the decision himself. He had to be told.
From the sending off, apart from Jota's sending off.
Yeah.
That the referee made that decision, all right.
Yeah. But the rest of them, he had to be told. So which is for me is a wrong. However, he goes on to say, Liverpool's statement tonight is a mistake. Talks of exploring all options. What does that mean? I mean, what does that mean, Philip? Exploring all options. Are they going to sue the Premier League?
I think that's trying to get the ultimate option would be to get the game replayed, which is never ever going to happen in your dreams, Liverpool. Right? No way. Nothing's going to happen, Dermot. They're going to give the boys that made the mistake a slap on the wrist because nothing can happen. You cannot replay a game because a mistake by an official. Now, I'll give you another example. Last week, Feyenoord were playing Ajax, right? Feyenoord 3 or 4-0 up. An hour gone in the match. The Ajax fans riot, get the game abandoned, right? Following week, they come back and they finish the last 32 minutes. That's fine because Ajax were at fault. How can you penalise Tottenham for something that's absolutely not our fault? And that's why Liverpool's exploring all options. It's incredible. It's incredibly stupid. It's incredibly, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of a word that describes it. But the next sentence where it says sporting integrity, I never want to see the word sporting integrity in Liverpool used in the one sentence because they just do not add up.
No, well, he says, however, Liverpool's statement tonight is a mistake. Talk of exploring all options. What does that mean? And sporting integrity and dangerous phrases along with being vague and aggressive. That's exactly what he means by that.
Threatening.
It was threatening. Sorry, we effed up was enough. I said this last night. Sorry should be respected and not undervalued. This is a snap reaction that can always be wrong, but I feel strongly about it. Philip, I've read Liverpool's statement. It is absolutely shocking. Their statement. They're throwing their toys out of the pram.
Yeah.
Where were Wolves when Wolves didn't get their decision? Did they send out statements? They just got on with it. Okay, you've made a mistake. Let's get on with it.
And Wolves also, remember in the game against Wolves this season, Dermot, Wolves had a perfectly good goal disallowed. They would have given them a draw. Liverpool weren't exactly up in arms about that, were they? No. You've got to be consistent on things like this.
Yeah, and the VAR in itself isn't consistent enough, Philip. But I agree with Gary Neville, what he says here. And I don't normally agree with him, nor do you. But I think we can both agree that he is speaking a lot of sense here. Now, if you were ahead in the Premier League, Harry Webb, what would you be doing now, tonight? Because we've got games coming up the weekend.
Yeah, I would be having a conference call with all the VAR officials for this weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I would be telling them, go to bed early on Friday night, have a clear head on Saturday or Sunday, whenever the match is. Do your job like you've been trained to do. Don't be making decisions because you think it's right. You do things by the book, and we'll get over this. As for the two lads last Saturday, I think they should be probably taken off VAR duties forever. I think somebody has to pay for this. And unfortunately, like I'm never one for punishing people for human error, but I think this is just too big to allow without some form of punishment. And I think, okay, send them away for a few weeks and quietly bring them back in, but you have to be seen to do something. There has to be some punishment meted out to the officials on Saturday.
Now, Philip, the other thing, these VAR officials did took charge of a game in the UAE 48 hours before the Tottenham Liverpool game.
Yeah.
Now,
I find that unbelievable.
Now,
really?
this is the statement here, and it says the two VAR officials whose mistake cost Liverpool a perfectly good goal. Nobody's disagreeing with that, by the way.
No, we're not. No.
What's getting up our nose is what's happened afterwards, and the way Liverpool have come out with the victims here. Well, look at Wolves, look at Everton. You can go on and on. Good guys Saturday were out in the United Arab Emirates to take charge of a game just 48 hours before Saturday's Premier League game clash in North London. It has emerged, according to the Independent. Darren England and Dan Cook travelled out to work in the UAE Pro League match between do you want to read that?
And Sharjah.
On Thursday night and returned on a 6-hour flight on Friday. That was just a day before the game at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, in which Luis Diaz saw first half effort ruled out for offside when the assistant raised his flag and play promptly resumed after a quick VAR check. The VAR told the referee, Simon Hooper, that their check was complete, believing the goal had originally been given to the Reds.
Yeah.
Instead, the officials understood there was no need to change his on-field decision, and the effort did not count. Once play resumed, there was no way the call could be reversed. After the game, the bodies responsible refereeing professional games in England released a statement in which they apologised to the Reds for their mistake, which they said was down to significant human error. Now, Philip, I want to start just on one thing on this. What the hell are they doing refereeing in the Saudi Pro League 48 hours before a Premier League game, which is their bread and butter? And secondly, how come the Premier League, the FA, the refereeing association have allowed this to happen?
Well, it's possible that these guys, while they're under contract to the PGMOL, they probably do have. It's probably not illegal to do what they're doing. Is to go out, like they're obviously going out to other leagues who maybe might not have very much expertise in doing VAR. Mind you, not these two guys have either. But I'd say the fact, okay, the match is on Thursday night. They flew back on Friday. Now, Dubai or Arab Emirates is 3 hours ahead of us, right? So if they left Dubai at midday on Friday, their time, right? Take off the 3 hours, that's 9 a.m. They're back in London at 3 o'clock or 3:30 on Friday evening. That's more than 24 hours before the match. That should be plenty of time to recover. It's not as if you get jet lag on a flight from Dubai. It's only a 3-hour time difference. So I can't really understand what the problem was, unless they were entertained a little bit too much on the Thursday night before getting on the flight, and they weren't exactly in the best of shape on Saturday. Who knows? But it's. I think this will be a question that's coming out now: is how come they were out there? Is that sanctioned by the PGMOL? And if it's not, and these two boys were doing the Nixer, then they're in bigger trouble than they thought they were. I think.
Well, it's a 6-hour flight, Philip, right? Between Dubai, Dubai 6 hours.
Yeah, but you leave Dubai at midday at 9 o'clock our time, so you're home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, but it's still on a Friday, Philip, where we don't know what time they did get back. They could have got back late Friday evening, for all we know. We don't know.
I doubt
that we don't know.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 flights a day from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. There's loads of flights.
But surely the Premier League should come first. And I know referees are not paid, and Simon Jordan's been saying referees need to be paid more. Probably, I don't agree with that, but that's another conversation for another podcast.
With the 5:30 kickoff, Dermot, if they were back in London on Friday afternoon, that should have been no problem, really. You think about it. It's 24 hours. It's not as if they landed back on Saturday morning.
No.
Now, unless now this is real conspiracy theory. Unless they did missed the flight and did not get back until Saturday morning. Maybe they were due to get in on Friday, but didn't come in until Saturday morning. Then that would be an issue. But I'm sure that'll all come out to wash if anything was untoward about it.
And then the last bit, and this VAR team told the referee, Simon Hooper, that their check was complete, believing the goal had originally been given. Now, how could they believe the goal's been given when the linesman's got his flag up, Philip? That's the one bit I don't get.
That's the bit that's hard to understand. It looks to me as if whatever they did not see, they must have been looking at the screen. They must have seen the flag go up, right? And then they must have just automatically assumed from watching the game themselves that it was onside, which it was. It just seems to be a momentary lapse of concentration at just the wrong moment, and this was caused all the furore because. And of course,
once the game gets going, Philip, they can't bring the game back.
They can't do it. But then again, they had 30 or 40 seconds before Liverpool players got back into position. The Spurs players as well. There was time to amend it, and thank God they didn't. To be honest with you, but there was time. There was.
Well, look, that is the end of that. Look, Philip, where do you see VAR now for the rest of the season?
I see it under horrendous scrutiny, right? And I also see Liverpool getting away with murder till the end of the season, to be honest. I really do.
Yeah.
Because they're the darlings of the media. As I said earlier, Spurs, I put up a post after watching Match of the Day on Saturday night. I said, notes in the match of the day. Spurs were on the pitch today, in case you hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
And anyone that see Match of the Day will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Have you done your Liverpool rant yet, or do you want to get it off your system?
No, I'm doing it bit by bit. I don't want to get it too. I'll do it as I see fit, But let's just say that I think the Liverpool fans. I want to include the racism bit as well. I don't know if you've seen it, but Destiny Adoje took some unbelievably horrendous abuse online from Liverpool fans after Saturday. He couldn't repeat some of the things he was called, right? Now, Spurs have issued a statement saying they condemn all this and they're working with the police to find out who's done it, right? Now, they may have released one, but up to now, I haven't seen anything coming out of Liverpool. So if Liverpool can't even condemn their own fans for that type of thing, then they're an absolute rotten club, rotten to the core. Because by not issuing a statement like Tottenham, and again, they may have done it recently. I'm not saying if they have fair dues. If they haven't done it, they're rotten to the core and they're condoning racism.
Yeah. Look, for me, Philip, me and Mia went through it today. It's ridiculous. And social medias and platforms should be doing more to stop this. Look, I said on one that today. I think it's disgusting. And if any fan, but look, Philip, Mia made a very good point. There may not be Liverpool fans at all. We don't know that because they're sitting behind the keyboard. You can put what you want up on your social media thing, Philip. You can put your support this time. Yeah. So they're keyboard warriors that.
But okay, leaving aside, even if they don't support Liverpool, they are still obnoxious, disgusting people for putting up that type of stuff.
And also, Philip, they're probably snotty-nosed kids sitting at home, probably been banned from their PlayStation by their mammy, and then just have nothing better to do than to talk a load of shite, on social media. It is ridiculous. And look, we condemn it to the whole heart, Elite, that it should be condemned. And I hope they get caught and I hope they get punished fully to the law. But what can you do? Greg Downs is saying, paying devil's advocate, but of course Gary Neville is siding with the PGMOL side of things because he's a Sky employer. The coverage of the decision at halftime was nearly non-existent to protect VAR. Now, now, I don't know if you watched his commentary on Saturday, Philip, but he said, I didn't know this till after the game, that he said that on the gantry, they get it the same time as the referee gets it.
Yeah.
So they get it ahead of us. So when they said no goal, his reaction was, that's wrong. That's onside. Jamie Redknapp then comes in with a statement, saying, well, they've got this wrong. What else have they got wrong?
Yeah, but was the only word spoken not just check complete?
Yeah.
Not all that they heard, check complete.
Yeah.
Because that did not say goal wasn't given or not.
No, he heard check complete. check and play. And he saw the pictures. They see the same thing they see in VAR on his gantry. So my question to you, Philip, is now VAR corrupt?
No, I don't. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's corrupt, because that only adds fuel to Liverpool's case if you say it's corrupt, right? Now we know it's not corrupt. It's not corrupt. It's not corrupt. It's human error, but there's too many human errors. There's not enough training or not enough accountability taken by the people in charge of it. And no, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's corrupt. Okay, you could always have one bad apple who's got a big bet on a team to win or something and does a VAR decision to suit his conditions. But no, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's corrupt. It's just badly done, badly operated.
Yeah, well, look, we will go on more about VAR as the season goes on. I'm sure we will, Philip. Andrew Greggy says we all stand with Destiny. Yeah, we all do. Our channel definitely stands with Destiny.
What a player, Tony, Destiny. What a player.
Yeah, he is. Tony Young, to be honest, most people were always against us anyway, and I think Angie's been using that. Erwin says, I hope to get rid of VAR. Have 2 linesmen on each side of the field and two on the each end of the goal. Imagine VAR in hurling or Gaelic football. It's a joke. Now, in Ireland, we use Hawkeye. That's it. That's all.
Now, that's only to show whether the ball actually went over the bar or not. It's not a.
Yeah, but there has been called. There has been called for VAR to be introduced into Gaelic football and hurling, which has been very much resisted. Can you see it?
No.
Would it work in GAA?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the GAA, I'll tell you one thing, I've been at a good lot of GAA games this year in Croke Park, and there's been incidents off the ball, and the linesmen are talking to the referee the whole time. And they do spot a lot. They don't get them all by no means, because GAA players are very, very cute. They'll do what they'll do. They'll see the lines running away down the other end with his back to them. Then they'll put the boot in or give him a dig in the ribs or something like that and get away with it. But the more and more you'll see the referee calling the player over and booking them or sending them off for something the linesman has spotted. So no, we don't need VAR.
We've got AA. All right, I'll let you do the Liverpool thing. I can't do the Liverpool.
This is 3 scouts. I put up a video of this. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. You call the fight over anything. You know, hey, all right, calm down, you scouts.
I love that.
Anyone just look up Harry Enfield Scousers. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Liverpool fans treat the following the club as a passionate religion, not resemble an entertainment based on following our local club for fun. Look, we're all guilty of that, Philip. We're all guilty of following our team passionately. It's nothing new, but they seem to take it to another level when it comes to something like this. There was a fella on earlier, right? I was watching the Liverpool channel, and he was saying the audio's coming out. We were robbed. We need this game replayed. You know, Liverpool are going to sue the Premier League. We're going to sue Tottenham. And I was thinking, sue them for what? We beat you. Get over it. You know,
I mean, but that shows you the mentality of a lot of them. You know, some of them, the brains they were born with. Sue Tottenham, what for? So allegedly, we weren't even on the pitch according to some pundits on Saturday. Why are you going to sue us?
No. There was a bunch of them invisible players on the other end, and Stephen Thomas says humans will always make errors. VAR isn't the problem. Then the question is, Philip, does it go fully automated?
It is human error with VAR that is the problem. You know, it's causing all this anxiety and angst. Like, I mean, human will always make errors, right? But VAR is such a technical system. If they're trained right, they should not make errors.
No. Well, that's the end of the VAR discussion. I'm sure Philip will be coming back to that again and again.
I'd say at least by the weekend.
Yeah. Now, can anyone point out the obvious mistake here?
No, we'll say nothing now. We'll see what comes up here. You
know? Okay. Yeah, we're going to Premier League review, Philip. A few cracking games the weekend, I have to say. A few cracking results as well. Villa 6-1 against Brighton. Luton's first win in the top flight since it got relegated back in the 90s, away to Everton. Manchester United losing home to Palace. Arsenal beating some team 4-0. I think it was Brentford or Bournemouth. We're not sure. I got a bit confused when I was doing it. Philip, what results stood out to you? I think the first one really is the Villa one against Brighton.
Villa had 9 shots in the game and scored 6 times. I mean, that's 9 shots on target. I'm going to say 6 times. That's incredible. And that was a bit of a shock result. I know Villa have been playing well, but so have Brighton. So that's a real kick in the teeth for them. And Brighton had 64% possession.
Yeah, they did.
Almost more. No, it was more. Actually, near 70% possession. And just shows you possession does not win you matches. Hitting the back of the net does. And Ollie Watkins scored a hat-trick in that game, and he was very good. Very, very good.
He was. Geordie, hello. Yeah, we've got Geordie. Hello, what's up, guys? Big up, Geordie. Hope you're doing well. Peter M saying, Philip, Liverpool cannot sue anyone. What proverbial loss and damage have they suffered? How can they show that the ref's decision caused them to quantify, I think that word is, loss and damage?
Yeah. But you know what will happen, Peter? If at the end of the season Liverpool lose the league by 1 or 2 points, you can imagine what game they're going to go back and blame.
Yeah. And then Owen is saying, can't see the mistake. Let me check VAR.
Yes.
That's a good one. Now, Philip, Little Luton, who we got on Saturday. Little Luton, where nothing happens in Luton. If a nuclear weapon was chucked at the UK, chuck it at Luton, because nothing happens. Believe me, I've been to Luton.
It really wasn't 50p's worth of damage. 50p's worth of damage.
Going to Luton wasn't the highlight of my life. Let's put it that way. Luton is I can't describe Luton, to be fair. But anyway, they beat Everton, Philip. Shock result of the weekend.
Funny, Everton, you never know what Everton's going to turn up, So no, not completely shocking. Luton were always going to get off the mark soon enough. I mean, that'll give them a lot of heart now coming up with our game on Saturday. And they've also got another match tomorrow, the game against Burnley at home, which was postponed on the first day of the season. So, I don't want us to be the ultimate Spursy, beat Liverpool one Saturday and lose to Luton the following one. You can just see it. It's just these things happen in football. But no, I think we should be too strong for them. No, I'm delighted for Luton. They've at least got a few points on the board now. I still think they're going to go down, but at least that's the start. They're giving the fans something to cheer about.
Yeah, I'm pleased for Luton. Newcastle 2-0 against Burnley. Really comfortable win for Newcastle. Really.
Actually. I mean, Newcastle were very good against Man City. Although, no, Man City in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday night? I've never seen a game of 2 halves like it. Man City were all over them like a rash in the first half. And in the second half, the roles completely reversed. And Newcastle battered them. So fair dues to Newcastle. They showed what a good team they could be in the second half there. Although they'll be a bit worried if City had the Haaland playing, they could have been 3 or 4-0 down at half time. But he wasn't playing, so they had no strike force to go for Newcastle or City. But well done. I mean, you'd be expected to beat Burnley, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We've got then Arsenal.
Nobody spotted it yet, Dermot. Nobody spotted it yet.
I don't think nobody has spotted it yet, Philip. I just want to make it.
Well, we'll put them out their misery. That should be Bournemouth up on the thing, not Brentford.
Should be Bournemouth. It should.
Got his bees mixed up.
I actually did.
No, it's a point. We're not going to mention it because that's still mentionable. We don't talk about them.
Now, Philip, the biggest shock for me was Palace's win up at Old Trafford, where they lost on the Wednesday in the League Cup.
Yeah.
I got some stats here of the game. United had 77.1% of possession to Palace 22.9. They had a total of 19 shots on goal, 4 on target, 8 off target, 7 blocked, 88.1% passing. They absolutely dominated Palace from head to toe, but Palace come out with a win.
Yep. And fair dues to Palace. They must have gone back up there again thinking, oh, God, here we go again, after getting well beaten in the cup, But it just shows you, United are a misfiring unit at the minute. There's a lot of infighting going on. The Glazer thing isn't helping them. Ten Hag, while he seems to think he's untouchable, I would not be so sure. I don't think he's as untouchable as he thinks he is. And, I think, well done, Palace. A real coupon buster, that though. Not many people will put that down for an away win.
I think Chelsea are on their way to beat Luton. Fulham, aren't they? Fulham,
Yeah,
they're 2-0 up.
They were 2-0 up the last time I checked. I'll just check it again, you know.
So now they're going to
actually scored. You know, the one thing rarer than hen's teeth is a Mudryk goal. So, yeah, 2-0 going into injury time. So
Chelsea will go up to the hefty lights of 13th in the league.
Wow, good God, that's the highest they've been for a while, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They might get a nosebleed up at that high. But anyway, then we've got the Spanners down with Dino the Dinosaur and Barney the Bear. 2 Sheffield United with Saudi owners who don't spend now.
It doesn't like coming to London, you know.
No,
another defeat.
Yeah, another game. And then, of course, the games then keep going on. Wolves then beat Man City. That's, for me, that for me is throwing the title race wide open, that result. It proves Man City are... Can I just say, Philip, sorry, that proves Man City are beatable. All this crap about Man City are going to walk away with the league. Man City are this. Dermot, you're talking shite. You're talking out of your head. You know, Tottenham can't win the league. Wolves go up there and beat them 2-1. We're a point behind them now in the league. City have not beaten us at our stadium since the stadium opened.
They haven't scored against our stadium since the stadium opened.
So, are we in a title race, Philip, with City losing on Saturday?
Listen, we're second in the league on goal difference. Okay, I will not go more than say that we're in a race for the Champions League at the moment. Now, in 3 or 4 matches' time, looking at our matches from now on for the next 4 or 5 games, I could well change my. If we keep winning, I think yes, we are. Think about City. City, possession-wise, we're all over Wolves on Saturday.
Yeah,
but Wolves played it brilliantly. They closed them down. They closed down the space. They wouldn't allow. Haaland barely got a touch, and the Wolves thoroughly deserved the win. City were out of sorts a little bit. I think they must have been suffering from losing to Newcastle during the week. So that's 2 games in a row City have lost. They're not unbeatable. They definitely aren't. But they're still the best team in the league, regardless of what anyone thinks they are. But that's a few more matches like that, a few more defeats like that. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just being cautious at the moment. I don't want to get too carried away, you know.
Well, you know me, I'm deluded anyway. 23 shots by Man City, only 3 for Wolves, and they scored 2 of them. 8 on target and 1 on target for Wolves. So that shows that. Yeah. Of course, we beat Liverpool 2-1. We've talked that game to whatever it's there.
Wait, I didn't realise.
Did you? Anything you want to say to Liverpool fans after that game, Philip?
No? Suck it up, lads. Suck it up. You know, take a beating like a man. Don't be whining and trying to hide behind the VAR decision.
And Brentford, of course, playing 2 games in 24 hours, did very well to get up and down the country. They did brilliantly.
Yeah.
We watched this before the 2 decisions. Brentford should have won that game with VAR working properly.
They should have had 3 penalties, really, because they were denied 2 penalties in the same movement, and then another one in the second half.
Yeah.
So the VAR again did not cover themselves in glory.
No. Player of the week.
I'm gonna give it.
I'll give it to Ollie Watkins.
You go first.
Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I give Ollie Watkins and the general player of the week, right? General player.
Yeah.
But as regards the Spurs player of the week, I'm going to give it to Pedro Porro. I think he was superb.
I'm going to give it to Van de Ven. I thought he was brilliant on Saturday again. I really did.
Hang on. I'm just going to shift location here, lads.
We're going to get a view of the Godfather's his hello, is he still there? No, he's gone. Team of the week for me, I'm going to have to give it to Luton for going away and beating Watford, Everton. I will get the name of the team right. Also Palace as well is in there. Wolves are in there as well. Let us know in the chat what you think. But for me, I have to give it to Luton. I think that's a great win for Luton. Wally's of the weekend. Well, Wally's of the weekend, of course, is the VAR people at the Tottenham game. They're Wallies of the weekend for myself. Ref watch, again, the referee on our game on Saturday, complete idiot. I think the last two, but yeah, I'll wait for Philip to come back. Team of the week from me here. We've got a few people here. Wolves, says Erwin, his team of the week. Peter M says, my team of the week after Spurs is Palace. Now that for me is a great. You're sitting in the dark, Philip.
It takes a while for the light to come on, you know. It's a bit slow. It truly takes a while to come through here, you know.
Yeah, have you got a fella at the back riding the bike, just powering up the electricity?
Yeah, it's kind of what you call them, these, what you call them, bikes.
Oh, the mice. Yeah.
There's cables going out to the boiler to generate electricity, you know.
Okay. So you're a bit like some of that, the Beverly Hillbillies, then. Do you know you've got
just a bit,
Granny out? Yeah, you've got Granny out there with a shotgun. Yeah. Peter M says, my team of the week after Spurs is Palace. Chelsea have 3 points. Andrew Gregory, VAR is my team of the week. I like that. Team of the week, Philip. I went for Luton. Luton for team of the week. Who's your team of the week?
I think Luton would be coming high up. I think Villa. Yeah. Beat Brighton at this one.
That's one. Hello, he's gone again. He's gone to check if the mice are still running around his wheel. That's what he's gone to check. Wallies of the weekend. Well,
no.
No, that's the next question. Wallies of the weekend. That was the next question.
Wallies of the weekend.
Yeah. What do you think I said? What do you think I said?
No, I didn't say anything. Oh no, I was.
You were checking the mice were going around the wheels, were you?
It's just slacking, you know.
Yeah. We know you're slacking, Philip. Right, Wallies of the weekend. Who's your Wally?
Well, the two Wallies, the Morecambe and Wise, the two boys in the VAR booth, Tottenham,
and Howard Webb as well.
Well, he's a Wally by association. He's not the Wally for actual whatever he did on Saturday, you
know. We have Ref Watch now. Look, the refereeing standard right this week, right, is not good, Philip, right? But Simon Hooper.
Sorry, this is Ref Watch. I'm not even counting him as a ref. he's some boy doing referee impersonations.
He is, yeah. Wally of the weekend. The Liverpool staff who issued that stupid statement.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Owen says, "Are you out on an island off the west coast?" Yeah, he is.
Not quite. No, I'm not. No, not quite.
He does. He has the boat in. He has the boat into the mainland every morning.
Yeah.
We've got Manager watch. Jurgen Klopp crying on the street corner when he realised the wheels on his bus came off, and he had no wheels because the bus was on bricks. And VAR cock up of the
that's a hard one. I know. I think Manager watch. I'm giving it to Ange. You see the video of Ange walking off the pitch, them singing the Robbie Williams song to him as he went. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. I thought he was very diplomatic in his press conference about it, actually, to be fair to him. Shows what a class act he is.
Wow, yes.
And then VA, do you know what? I'm not going for the Tottenham-Liverpool game. I'm going for the Forest-Brentford game, the handball.
Oh, yeah.
For me, that was the cock.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. Okay, you would say the less obvious cock-up of the week is that one.
Yeah. It is. Well, listen, Philip, that is the end of the podcast. I always love doing this podcast. I believe you, Philip, lives on Craggy Island. And
you wake up, Father Jack.
Yeah. Does living on that island make Father Ted your parish priest? Peter's asking.
No, it's Father Dougal.
And then Peter M says, VA, a cock above the week, was switching it on the door.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Listen, Philip, we're finished with the podcast. Look, it is the new time every day. We're going to go back to 8 o'clock next Monday, aren't we, Philip, with the podcast?
Yeah,
we're doing it a bit earlier. And the Premier League review. What we got coming up this week, Philip, on the channel? We've got a few bits and pieces, haven't we?
Yeah, tomorrow is kind of a day off, I think. Wednesday, then we've got Newsbeat on 4 o'clock. And Wednesday night, then no, it's just Newsbeat on tomorrow Wednesday, isn't that right?
Yeah, and then Thursday we've got
Champions League review.
Yeah,
and Newsbeat.
Yeah,
Champions League review, and then Friday we'll be doing a pre-match, I think, won't we?
Yeah, it is pre-match the Luton game.
Then 12:30 on Saturday, it's a watch along. Then about 5-6 o'clock that evening, it's a practice session for the Grand Prix.
And then we're doing the rugby then as well, aren't we? Saturday evening.
Scotland versus Ireland Saturday evening, yeah.
And then of course Sunday we're back Grand Prix on Sunday on our F1 channel.
Yeah, so it's a busy week ahead.
Yeah, so we've got a lot going on. Yeah, thank you so much, Philip, for joining me. I'm glad to have you back. I've missed you while you're away.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you back. We just got it. Peter M. Thanks, Philip and Dermot, as ever. Coys and Erwin says, thanks for tonight, lads. See you in the next one. Yeah, we are off tomorrow. Philip is going back to his drumming, doing his Phil Collins impersonation of on Wednesday, and then we're back Newsbeat Wednesday, and then Champions League review, another news podcast starting on Wednesday evening. I don't know what time's that going out Wednesday evening, Philip.
Oh God. Well, we'll let you know. I'm not quite sure.
On Thursday, probably about 8 or 9 o'clock on the Thursday evening, anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your Monday. We'll see you back at Wednesday at 4. Come on, you Spurs.
And in Liverpool, we trust.
I'm taking you off now. Can't do that. In Big Ange, we trust.